everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kara and today we are going over, I don't know what I'm thinking. Today I'm going to be telling you about my labor and delivery story. I'm sorry I'm talking kind of quiet. My sons are taking naps right now. But I'm going to be inserting clips I took before I had my son. And I'm not mentioning his name because I'm hoping to get the gender reveal video up after this the name reveal after this one, this video. But everyone, so I am on my way to my doctor's office. I am 36 weeks, but in 2 days I'll be 37 weeks. So I don't know what kind of checkup they're going to do. Probably just listen to the heartbeat and just check my blood pressure and stuff like that. But yeah, that is what we are doing. So it is the 2 days later. I went to the hospital and I had to do the whole take home the urine bucket thing and put my urine in it for 24 hours so they can see if I'm preeclamptic or not, like getting preeclampsia. So now it is 2 days later and I'm going to my doctor's appointment and they're going to see if he wants to induce me, if I have high blood pressure or what. So that is what I'm doing today. I'm about to leave, about to go to my doctor's appointment, and I'll keep you all updated. Okay, so it is a few hours later. I went to my doctor's appointment and I had high blood pressure. It was 134 over 100, and the 100, that is very high for your bottom number. I didn't see my doctor. I saw a different doctor, the lady doctor, and she was saying that everything looks good as long as I'm not swollen or have fatigue, and I don't have, like, I'm not seeing spots or anything. I should be fine. So I came home and my doctor called and said that he wants to put me on high blood pressure medication. I'm not sure what it's called, but I'm about to leave to go get that because my blood pressure is high. So that is what's going on. High blood pressure, everything's fine with the baby, the heart rate was good. Yeah, so that is what I am doing now. So I had high blood pressure during the 3rd trimester of this pregnancy. I had high blood pressure with my other son, so I was expecting it. They put me on the medication, and it wasn't really helping, but they wanted me to do it anyways. I'm sorry I'm looking off or whatever. I just got a new camera. I don't know how to use it. I'm just winging it right now. But he wanted to induce me when I was 39 weeks. So on Thursday I went to the hospital at 2 o'clock. Sorry about the lighting, but I'm going to be getting induced today. I'm going to the hospital at 2 o'clock, and then my doctor said he's going to try and give me the Pitocin at 4. So he says hopefully I'll have the baby hopefully I'll have the baby tomorrow. But that's what he said about Aiden, and I had Aiden at 3:40 in the morning. So yeah, I don't know. This morning I got Aiden ready. I sent him to school with my mom, and my sister's picking him up and taking him to my brother's house because he really wants to see my nieces. So Aiden will be taken care of over there, and my husband and my mom are going to come pick me up, and we're going to go to the hospital. So this is my belly right now. And he said he wanted to start, not Pitocin, they're little pills that they put inside you every 4 hours. I don't know what that's called. But around 4 o'clock. And they didn't do it till around 5:30, I think. Just got in the hospital and I just changed into my gown. So they checked me and I was not dilated at all. So they put it in me and waited 4 hours. My husband and my mom came with me and we were just chilling out, just in the room doing nothing. Waited 4 hours. They checked me and I was at a 1. So I was not progressing quickly. So they put another one in me, waited 4 hours, and then checked me again, and I was at a 1 still. So then I was having contractions throughout that time, but it wasn't painful contractions. I could barely feel them. So I decided to take a nap, and I fell asleep for maybe 15-20 minutes, and I woke up in a lot of pain. And I asked the doctor if there's any like kind of pain medication I could take. I'm very bad at the scale. You know how it says, oh, you're 0, which is happy, and then you're 10, which is like dying. Well, the scale's like this, right? And I thought I was like not even halfway in pain. I was in pain and I felt it, but I thought I was like at a 4 or a 5. And the nurse said, well, let me know before you get to a 6 and we'll get you some pain medication. And when I woke up, I thought I was about at a 6. So I called the nurse in, and she came in and she said that she was gonna check me, and I was at a 2. So she came in, checked me, I was at a 2, and I was in a lot of pain. I wasn't crying or anything, I wasn't in that much pain, but I was in pain. And she said that she was gonna go call my doctor. She called my doctor, and he said that he just give me the epidural, even though I was only a 2. He said it's gonna take a long time. Anyways, so because epidurals can slow down your labor, since I wasn't progressing really quickly, he said that I could just get the epidural. So my husband and my mom left, and I was having high blood pressure throughout this whole time. It was like 140 over 91, or 140, 130 over, it was never like, I think 100. It was never 100. Well, so they had that arm thing around me, and it would tighten up every 15-20 minutes or whatever. So my husband and my mom went in the waiting room, and I was getting my epidural, and I ended up having a contraction during them sticking the needle in my back, so I couldn't move. And at this time, the contractions got really bad to where I was crying, but I wasn't like bawling. I just had tears running down my face because I was in a lot of pain. And I was breathing like, ooh. I was trying to breathe through them, but I had to make noise. It made it easier, I guess. I don't know. But I never took any classes on how to breathe or anything, because I just assumed that I would have the epidural and feel no pain, because that's how I was with my first son. But anyways, so I was in a lot of pain. When I asked my doctor if I can get more medication, I was in a lot of pain. I thought I was around like a 6, 7, right? So I thought I was in a lot of pain. So when I was getting my epidural, I was crying and in a lot of pain. And so when I had my contraction during them putting the needle in my back, my arm thing was tightening up. It was just so annoying. And I was trying not to move because he's sticking a needle in my back, but I'm crying because I'm having a contraction. Well, he ended up leaving after he got done, and my nurse was like, oh, let me go ahead and just check you and see how far dilated, if you dilated anymore. Well, she checked me and she looked at me and she goes, oh girl. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I a 10? And she's like, yep, you're a 10. I can feel him, he's right there. And she's like, don't push. My doctor's gonna be here in like 30 minutes. That's what she said. He's delivering another baby. He'll be here in like 30 minutes, so do not push. Well, at the time I told her, before she checked me, I was like, every time I have a contraction, I feel like I need to go to the bathroom. I feel like I need to pee. It's not like I need to go number 2. I need to pee. And she said, well, we're gonna put a catheter, so don't go to the bathroom. We're just gonna wait till the epidural kicks in. So when she checked me, I could feel his head down there and moving around trying to get out, and the epidural never kicked in. So I thought I was like a 7, 6 or 7, but I was like in so much pain. It was like a 10. So I lasted that whole time of my body getting ready for the baby, I'm actually surprised that I lasted that long. And so every time the light would come on where I can give myself another dose of the epidural, the nurses kept pushing and pushing and pushing, because they didn't want me to give birth without the epidural, because I was worried. I wasn't terrified, I just didn't want them to cut me or me tear and I wouldn't have the epidural, so I'd feel everything, and that's what I was most scared of. I don't think I would be able to handle it. So I was scared I wouldn't be able to handle it. So I would be touching my leg, seeing if I can feel the epidural kicking in or not. And it finally kicked in when my doctor came. So he arrived and he was like, I told you not to have this baby till tomorrow. And I was like, it's 5. I mean, it's like 4:30. No, not even 4:30. It's like 4:40, 4:50. It was really quick. So he came, he was like, okay, you ready? And I said, yep, let's go for it. I can still feel it. I can still feel a little bit of pain, but it wasn't like so bad. So what he did, he said, okay, I'm going to count to 5. You're going to push for 5 seconds and then you're going to stop. And so he's down there and he's like, okay, I'm going to count to 5. Push softly. And I was like, okay. He's like, don't push really hard, just push softly. And I was like, okay. So I'm pushing and he counts to 5. Actually, he started at 3, so he just had 3 seconds. So he's like 3, 4, 5, okay, stop. And he's like moving the baby, and then he said, okay, push again. So I pushed again and I counted to 5 this time. And he said, okay, a big push. And so I pushed and he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's wiggling my son. And he's like, okay, one more time. So he counted to 5 and I pushed and he just wiggled him out. And my son was, let's see, he was the color lavender. He came out like lavender and he was super purple, like a light purple. So he was screaming and they're cleaning it up and everything, and they put him on my chest, and they did that for a few seconds, and then they took him to clean him up and everything. And my mom was there and my husband was there, and it was nice to have my mom there because she wasn't there for my first time. But he was crying and everything, so I was like, okay, good, everything's fine, everything's good. And he said that I didn't tear or anything. He just put 1 stitch, because he said it was like almost like a scrape. It wasn't a tear or a rip or anything. So he just did that. And then they cleaned my son up and they put him on my chest and he nursed for 30 minutes. He just like latched on quick and he was like, I'm going to town. So he got to eat and everything, and my sister arrived when they were cleaning him up, so she got to take some pictures. I'll insert pictures whenever, in order, and videos whenever they're supposed to be in order, whatever. I just took little videos, little clips, because yeah, I just wanted time with my son and my husband and my family around me instead of having a video record everything. So he got to stay with me, and they said that everything was fine, and then they moved us to another room. And when they moved us into another room, it was day 2 that they said that he was jaundiced and they wanted to put him under the blue light. So they ended up putting him under the blue light and for 4 hours, and then I got to take him out for 30 minutes and nurse him and pump, and then I change his diaper, and then I put him back in for 4 hours. So we did that, I think, for like a whole day. He was in there for a long time, and he was crying, and I'll insert a video of my poor little baby. He was crying. He did not like it. He's having to be under the light. So baby is jaundiced right now. He's had to stay in for 3 hours. I can take him out, nurse, change him, and then put him back in for 3 hours, and then take him out only for 30 minutes. I can only have him out for 30 minutes. So that is what we are doing. We are on day 2. And during this time, he would wake up every hour, 2 hours maybe. So I would be breastfeeding and pumping, and then when I got done pumping, I would like change him, and then I'd put him to bed, and then he would wake right back up, and it was constant. So the nurses and doctors were in and out the whole time, so I got no sleep. Sorry, my camera overheated. But so I think we stayed in 3 nights. So I got discharged earlier, a day before my son did, but they let me stay a day. I was saying something before. Oh, I was saying I only had like maybe 5 hours of sleep through that whole time I was at the hospital. So yeah, I got no sleep. But we ended up being able to bring him home. Oh, I didn't even say. I delivered, he came out at 5:10 in the morning, and he weighed 6 pounds, 8 ounces. I am not sure on the length. I will type it out, however long he was. But yeah, we got to come home, and that's about it. I am almost 2 weeks postpartum right now. I'm a week and 3 days. But yeah, that is my labor and delivery story, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just very excited about having my little man here with my other son, and my older son just adores him, always trying to help out. But yeah, I'll insert some little clips of him because he's still sleeping, so I'll insert some little clips at the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! So we just left the hospital. I'll show you what he looks like. He looks so cute. My husband wanted to go get food, so he's doing that, and then we'll head home.